All right, guys, we are here at Free Play Fort Worth for a little bit of a construction update. We made a ton of progress. We're getting surprisingly close and even closer than it's gonna look, but let's go check out what we've done so far. All right, so if you remember, we're walking into what's gonna be the kind of the bar area, the lobby, the dining area. You might notice if you look around, black paint everywhere. Our painters have been through already. We patched, did all the drywall repair, and we took this thing a lot more black because if you've ever been to a Free Play, you know one of our main colors is black, and we also think it works really well for arcades, and it's easy, right? So arcades are really nice because they're glowing, they're bright, they're the star of the show, so we like to start with a black base, throw some neon in there and work from there. You'll see over here some ongoing work. What you can't see is, let's walk back and see. Just right over here, and this is where the bar was. You'll notice everything is cleared out. We've got some fresh FRP on the wall, really nice. And some wiring ongoing for these TVs to get them back up and running. Right over here, we've got our bar taps. We're actually working on those right now today. And some minor stuff right here. There are a bunch of rivets on this bar. They've all been popped. We're gonna take it to stainless over the next probably couple of days. And today is one of the first times we've come to check in. But yeah, so this room, still, you know, a construction zone. But once you're putting paint on the walls, you know you're getting really close. New electrical runs throughout. In general, there was plenty of power in the building, just not in the right spots, especially for an arcade. So then we're gonna walk down the hallway. It's a little dark, the lighting's gonna be funny. But I want to show you something that this is like a small thing that would make like someone like me that owns arcades really, really proud, and a really cool thing. So in the last video, you would walk up here, your wall would be about, you know, a foot and a half closer. It also had a huge freezer that they had actually built into the room. So we had to take down that wall anyways, just to get the freezer out, because we didn't need that freezer. It wasn't, not really our style. Most of our food is fresh. And so we took that, and we took the opportunity to push the wall back, and it's gonna be very hard to see, but up here we've got a little floating light installation. Before the wall came up and would have hit that floating light installation, so they had the wall really short. And you could see the light from this freezer room, this work room. They had soda lines and stuff in there, which now you can walk in here. This is gonna be our mop sink room, mop room, chemical storage and everything. And we've got a wall that goes all the way up to block the light coming from here. So if an employee's in here, you know, getting the mop bucket ready or anything like that, you won't notice it from the outside because, you know, ambiance is extremely important. Now, that just seems minor, but that's actually a ton of work, moving a wall, getting sheetrock all the way up, new electrical runs, new sink runs, new plumbing runs. But it was much better because previously the mop sink was in the electrical closet. Now we're not gonna go into any of the restrooms. It's ongoing projects in there. Getting close, but not a lot of work going on, just kind of freshening up, polishing it, some paint work, that kind of stuff. But here, this is where probably the biggest changes have come. We are in the main game room. Right here, over in this area, this is where the DJ booth was, or not really a DJ booth, the sound producer booth, because just across the way, there used to be a massive stage. Stage is gone, it has been removed. We did a ton of work, and like I was saying before, a lot of this is kind of nuanced. But I know there's got to be some people on YouTube that own restaurants or arcades and stuff that are really going to get to have some fun. So there was a wall here where there is, and then this would be the stage right here. We've now taken all of this wall and framed it completely. There used to be windows from the back, walkways, pathways, and we've created what's going to be the kind of game workshop, the lab here where the techs can keep the games up and running. We're going to try to go in there in a second. I'm going to have to turn on my cell phone probably for light. So this is where the stage was, where we're walking. And then they have fully built out, fully plumbed green room with a bathroom and wet bar and everything, which was really, you know, nice for the musicians, but totally wasted space for us. So that is also removed, and that was raised. So all of that has been demoed, fixed, redone. And as you can tell in here, it's all painted, it's all black. They had it a variety of different colors in a variety of different rooms. We made one huge game room that we're gonna be able to put like 60, 70 games, maybe 80 just in this room. So we're really pumped. And here's, we've learned a lot since we first started this. So originally we could do the amp measurements pretty easily, but we never really knew where the games would end up, where we would need outlets. So our new philosophy is outlets everywhere. You'll see, I mean, we've got all the amperage here, but we also have just a ton of places to plug in our games, because that's what really matters, is being able to always get power where you need it. We also have these really cool power poles that have been installed. And back here, there's nothing super interesting going on, or at least that's been done, because right now they are working on these beer lines. I'll show you kind of a work in progress of where we're still going. So the Rooftop Bar had a bunch of beer lines, way too many beer lines running up to it. Not exactly the style we want them. So right now, you see right here, they're draining the old beer lines so they can cut them and let it empty. That's it, that's live right now. We're working on that so that we can have a much better system in place before we open. So yeah, like I said, active construction still going on. But if you are in the industry, you know that this is kind of, we're getting to the polish stuff, tightening up the beer lines, that kind of stuff. We're really pumped. So now we're gonna try to walk into this back room that we went through in the previous walkthrough. I've got my cell phone light on. It's an awesome room, but and this is the other thing that the public won't really see much of. But so we took this room that was previously had a little VIP viewing area right here, a staircase and some access to the stage right here for the bands. It actually had the mop sink right here next to the electrical. Not a great idea. So that's gone. And we've turned this into what's gonna be a workshop. And you know, there'll be places for game storage, tech desks, everything like that. We also took the opportunity, so right here, to be honest, there's a storage landing above us. And to be honest, the previous people who did the work, they didn't, I mean, it looked really scary. So we talked to our contractors. We got an extra support beam put in, got it rated. We're really pumped about that. Because we don't really know what we're gonna do with that storage above, but we know that this is at least super safe. So yeah, really cool, really neat, and a bonus room. Still needs to be finished out. And so I don't know if we actually anticipate putting up the drywall here or leaving it wood, given that it would be really handy for a tech to be able to just hang anything on this plywood. So we're still working through that. But yeah, great size, great room, and space that we weren't sure we were gonna be able to salvage, we now have it. So, in here we also took out, which was that other VIP section over there. And then right over here we had what used to be the second bar for this venue. They built kind of like a small service bar right here. It was perfectly functional, but the way they had written all the taps and everything was complicated. If you watch the old videos, there's a big line of taps right here. We've removed all of that, done all of that. And have just made a ton of progress. And like in a true free play fashion, we really like to make good use of the space. So this is gonna be able to hold more games instead of be a secondary bar, which having 3 bars in such a small venue did make a lot of sense to us, because we do still have that rooftop bar. But hey, I forgot to run you on to the kitchen. Again, this is mid-construction, but at Free Play, we're kind of like, we're really big on just kind of bringing y'all along for the trip and being as transparent as possible, because it's one thing to say you're gonna do something, it's another thing to show you the space. So this is the kitchen. If it was featured last time, it was still filled with old kind of junky equipment. We've now kind of salvaged, repaired the equipment that is going to stay. We got the vent clean, the vent hood clean, and started the process. It might not look like it, but this room's actually been gone through quite a bit, but it still needs a lot of work. If you look up, the old tenants had not used the appropriate ceiling tiles. You have to have the kind of solid ceiling tiles that won't flake away. The old tenant decided not to do that, so we're gonna fix that. We got some other things that we need to tighten up and paint, but generally, yeah, it's all coming along. We're gonna go hop. There's not a lot, we haven't done a lot of work on the rooftop bar yet. They're working on that right now, but I want to show you all the deck where it is now, since previously it had a ton of furniture. It has less furniture, and you can kind of see what the views are going to be like. Plus, it's one of my favorite things to show off about this location. So yeah, paint is done, drywall is done. Electrical is, I think, like 99% of the way done. But I want to be clear, we're recording this, it's like September 20th. We're not going to be open probably in October. It's probably going to be November. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no downside to that for really anyone, as long as we're doing it right. So we're taking our time, making sure. I think, you know, hopefully in another month or so, we're doing a different video that kind of shows y'all what kind of gets you a better idea of the arcade. And around that time, we can hire up our staff, get ready to open. So we're gonna go check upstairs really quick, but yeah, this is the inside of Free Play Fort Worth. All right, so this is the rooftop patio here at Free Play Fort Worth, and the reason I wanted to come up, I always love looking at the view. It's the best view of downtown Fort Worth from near Southside, and it's just an awesome place. The weather is just slightly better today than it has been in a long time, so you can already start to get a feeling about how awesome it's gonna be. They're over there, they're working on the rooftop bar right now, basically moving some equipment around and redoing it. We made a decision about a month ago that we're gonna reconfigure this bar a little bit based on some flaws in the design from the previous tenant. So we've got some cool things planned. It's gonna be really neat up here now because like our Richardson location, 4 taps. Our Arlington location, 8 taps. Denton, 52 taps. And this location, Free Play Fort Worth downstairs, is gonna have 25 taps. But the way they had run the taps from the cooler downstairs just didn't really quite work, and it was kind of having the beer sit and kind of uninsulated lines for a long time. So we're actually gonna bring a kegerator similar to the one we use at Free Play Richardson upstairs here and have a fully like super fast 4 rotating beer selection on draft with a bunch of other packaged products, which I think is really cool throwback to Free Play Richardson, where we still only have 4 taps and they change nearly every day. And it's one of the most exciting things for me going up to Free Play Richardson and just seeing what's new that day. So we're gonna adopt that. You can look over here really quick. There they are working. You can see, I don't know if we pulled up that screen in the last video. This is kind of what the rooftop bar looks like. We've had some fun. We're in, you know, urban area, some fun little graffiti that we have to clean up again. But yeah, Free Play Fort Worth is coming. I'm guessing November 2019. Things are really progressing well. I feel like this is definitely our least stressful and most successful build yet. So can't wait to finish it for you, and can't wait for you to come out to Free Play Fort Worth.